we have a very full plate today, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Sound okay? All right, so let's first recognize all of our honored guests here in the house, all of our drivers. Would you raise your hand for us so we can give you some kudos? Thank you for what you do today. Thank you also to all of our drivers that are out there working hard today. We appreciate you and all you do for us. We do have a very special honored guest here today. Doyle Hester, where are you? Doyle recently achieved 20 years of safe driving. Let's give Doyle a hand. Congratulations, Doyle.
Okay, you might say that you mailed a $6,000 check.
And Doyle has $6 grand coming to him in the mail. All right. Anniversaries, Mike Blackman, where are you? Come on down. 40 years.
Hey, buddy. Proud of you, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, next up is Cindy Peterson with 24 years, otherwise known as our secret CEO.
She got a vaccine shot yesterday, and she had an upset stomach, and so she said, no, I'll give her a special greeting when I get there.
Very good. All right, Anatoly. Where's Anatoly? Come on down. 22 years. All right, next up is Luke Barnes with 17 years.
Combined.
22 combined. All right, next up is Carrie Dubois with 15 years. And she is actually off today with her shift, so congratulations, Carrie. Next up is Kevin Swift with 13 years. All right, let's make some noise for Russell Robertson with 12 years.
Congratulations, buddy.
All right, where's Wanda Kozarda with 8 years? All right, next up is Sherry Gill with 6 years. All right, let's make some noise for Sean Sutton with 6 years. Next up is Cheryl Kiker with 3 years. And she is out of the office today on PTO. Next we have Amber Lyons with 2 years. Amber, where are you at? I'm not sure how we feel about Amber, but anyway. All right, Chris Vargas with 2 years. Come on down. Clean shaven or beard? Which one, folks? Beard, okay. All right, Mackenzie Clay with 2 years. something you need to share with the group?
There's only a handful of people here that has the knowledge to Photoshop.
I'm sorry, but that's classified. All right, next up is Maria. Come on down. You have 2 years. All right, where's Craig Carroll? 1 year. All right, Ethan Cole, 1 year. Ethan here, come on down, Ethan. All right, let's make a little noise for Robin Kerr. Where are you? 1 year.
Thank you so much.
All right, Neon Daniels. Neon, where are you? She is working. All right. All right, let's move to our outside terminals. If you guys will hold your applause, we'll get through these and make a big splash. Rosa Hernandez with 30 years, Territory Account Manager in Laredo. We also have Kevin Delaney with 22 years, Regional Account Manager for us. We also have Roberto Hernandez with 21 years as a Senior Service Tech in Laredo. Monique Kaffer with 7 years as our Field Recruiter, doing a great job out there. Albert Rodriguez with 6 years, Inspection Bay in Laredo. John Ingram with 5 years as our Orientation Supervisor in Birmingham. Jerry Sandoval with 2 years as our Operations Extended Coverage in Laredo. And Andres Iglesias with 1 year as our Carrier Manager for Conexus in Laredo. Christian Delgado with 1 year, Carrier Manager in Conexus in Laredo. And Eduardo Campos with 1 year, Mexico Carrier Manager in Conexus. Francisco Alvarez with 1 year, Carrier Manager for Conexus in Laredo. And Joanna Trevino with 1 year, Junior Account Manager for Conexus. Omar Antu with 1 year, Inspection Bay Technician for Conexus in Laredo. And there we are. Let's give them a round of applause. All right, as you guys can see, we've got a bunch of birthdays to celebrate in July. Happy birthday to everyone listed up there. We'll throw you guys in a drawing for a special prize. And we do have a couple of new hires to share. We have Paige Cole. Paige, if you would raise your hand and wave at us. There she is, recruiting associate for us. Noelle Castillon, service technician for us. Anthony Cervera in Laredo, local driver for us as well. Let's give them a round of applause. We have one promotion to discuss today. Brooke Lewis, who's behind the camera here. Wave at everybody. Our advertising and social media coordinator. All right. Up next is Brett with a wellness update and some exciting trophy giving.
Yeah, so first thing on the list is eye care. So a lot of people are asking about eye care. If we're having another on-site big screening event, we are. It'll be August 30th. But just know that's 1 day before the deadline. So August 31st is the deadline to get your eye care screening complete if you're going to be on the benefit plan next year, you and your spouse. The easiest way, honestly, to get it done is just go to schedule a time in the clinic and go over there. It takes about 15 minutes. You won't need a physician appointment. Just meet with the nurses. So it'll take about 10 to 15 minutes to get that done. So they can get you in there and squeeze you in there pretty easy. So if you haven't got it done, I would just do it early. So in case there's a snafu on the 30th when they're all coming out to the big screening event, that you're not stuck in that. So next thing we've got going on, we've got a blood drive. We haven't had one since I've been here. I've been here 12 years, almost 12 years. This is going to be kind of fun, I guess fun. It's a it's a mobile blood draw, so they're going to bring out their big mobile unit, park it out here where we park the mammogram van, and we're going to do a blood drive next Tuesday from 10 until 4 o'clock. So I'll send out an email right after this meeting with the scheduling information. Just visit with your supervisor and make sure it works with your schedule to go out there and get that done. You do not have to use your lunch to get the draw taken care of. But this is a great benefit for the Red Cross. I know there's a big time blood shortage, there always is, so this will help them out quite a bit. I think we'll fill that van up out there, which is awesome. So I'll send that email out again. Oh, and also, they're giving a $5 Amazon card. Amazon's donating a $5 gift card to everyone who donates. So since everybody shops on Amazon, there's $5 toward your purchase. Okay, we're going to do the Olympics, kind of a fun event, I thought. Fun 5 events. So a lot of you participated, and who all participated? If you did, raise your hand up. We had quite a few folks from all different areas participating. Awesome. We want to kind of wrap it up today and give out our top 3 placings. So in 3rd place, this group placed in 4 out of 5 events. So Conexus, your crew, and we got to fill in. Red's the team captain, but we're going to fill in today. So, all right, and just to note that 2nd and 3rd place get absolutely nothing because we're on a low budget for this. So, all right, 2nd place. This group only placed in 2 events, but they did really well. They scored really well in the shot put, and the fishing was safety. And in our 1st place, and kind of cleaned the plow off with this whole thing, they won. They placed in every event, started off with 2 first and 2nd place finishes in the run, is shop and sales and marketing. So Jesse's going to
We just want some more competition for next year.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. All right, next up we have Russ Elliott.
All right, well, good afternoon. And Robert, would you join me at the front here for a second? There were a couple of names that didn't come up on the regular anniversary celebration. We want to do it a little bit separate, a little bit special. And July 1st marked a very important milestone in our company history, and that was when Glasstrand was formed. And on that day, Bob, Randy, 6 other office folks, a clunky but really cool AS400 that took up an entire room, and 30 owner-operators began everything and what you see today. That's where it all started. It was, the first location was just up the street where the Republic Waste Management deal is now. It was in a modular unit. That's a fancy name for a mobile home. I think we've come a little distance in 30 short years. But anyway, we celebrate both Bob and Randy. And first, there you go. Bob, come on up. Few big pictures over the years. And Randy? Where's Randy? Randy, come on up.
Buddy. Thanks, man. Grab a quick pic and then we'll go on here, all right?
All right, to mark the occasion, please turn your attention to the video board. We have a short presentation, and see if you can pick out a few young faces in the crowd.
day of business. You know, it's interesting, the computer screens get funny when you look at them on the video camera.
That's my camera work, it's really bad.
Yeah. Hi, Claire.
That's my daughter who just finished law school.
Check out our computer room. There he is.
Lady killer.
AS400. Printer. LaserJet printer.
That was our first office.
That's it.
Thanks. So we had an event at our old facility with a bunch of Mexican carriers, and that's the mayor of Tulsa, Roger Randall, on the left. And then touring through our luxurious office, this sales conference. That's Apollinario Figueroa and glass plant in Monterey. That was the Ford glass plant. One of our A-frames. Sales conference. Young Russ there. There's Claire again, Randy, me. One of Randy's hot cars. Paul Tuggle, I'll tell you a story about Paul. C.W. McGuire, who we see sometimes. There's young Russ and Debbie. Another Russ. Our first trucks, we bought 10 trucks in the fall of 1989. I actually drove that. That was our first load to Mexico, and I drove it from somewhere in Ohio to Laredo. That's a Mac. That was Chuck Reisner's. Repairing the glass track, A-frames, which we did a lot. And that was taken just recently with all the original glass strand folks.
So it was a magical time, and I always like to look back and see what was going on. Of course, George Bush, Sr., HW, was president. Milli Vanilli had the hit, Baby Don't Forget My Number. Robert was probably singing that. And you could have bought one share of Warren Buffett stock for $4,296. And had you done that, today it'd be worth $311,000. One share. So, Bob and Randy, it's been a wonderful ride, and what we want to say is thank you and for taking us along on it. And I think when we look back now, I think we've done pretty darn well. So congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
So.
Yeah, like I say, I think it's been a fun ride. Basically, in the IT world, it's odd that someone would stay someplace for 30 years. Most IT people are skipping jobs and all that stuff, but no, it's been a blast with Bob. You can see this place that we've created. That's amazing. Bob's been great to work for. He's taken care of me. Couldn't imagine being anyplace else. So thank you, Bob. Love you.
Love you too. Couldn't be more grateful for Randy, who's been a great friend for 30 years and is the only department head that started with the department of 1 and now has a whole huge department of 8. And so he's worked his tail off. Late nights, he would be in at all hours. Basically was on call 24 hours for probably a couple of decades. And so I'm grateful for Randy, again, as a friend and as someone that's kept us as a company on, Randy says it best, on the leading edge of technology as opposed to the bleeding edge where you spend a lot of money and maybe don't get any return for your investment. So it's been a fantastic ride. Paul Tuggle, whose picture you saw earlier I mentioned, was one of our early partners. Actually, Randy and Paul were the first two that I asked to come with me from CFI. And as a matter of fact, Glenn Brown knew I was leaving, and he said, you can hire anyone in IT you want except Ryan's. That's because Randy was one of their high potential guys, and Glenn didn't want me swiping him. But Randy expressed interest, and so here we are. One of my best swipes yet. But Paul Tuggle was a shareholder like Randy, Russ, and Robert, and others. And about 2 months after we bought Melton, and Paul would have been a big financial benefactor of that arrangement, was having a cup of coffee in his kitchen one morning and died of a heart attack. Bam. And so when people ask me about the kind of genesis of eye care, it was losing friends and loved ones that made me think, do I have some role in this, in my position? So anyway, Paul had a good marriage and 2 good kids, and it was really sad to see. But anyway, his face always reminds me of that. And had we been testing like we do today, he would have known his blood chemistry was out of whack, and we've been able to help him. He'd be here today. So anyway, lots of poignant moments, but lots of fun. Of course, when we started our business, the Ford glass plant here in Tulsa was 70% of our revenues, which if you run a business is a horrible position to be in. But I wanted to have a business, and we had about, I think we did $5 million a year in sales then. And again, 30 lease trucks, and we bought our first 10 Kenworths in the fall for $62,000. So yeah, less than half what they are today. Now, speaking of Kenworth, this afternoon you're going to see a little activity here. We have already purchased, I think, Jeff or Robert, our 5,000th Kenworth truck. And so they're bringing in their CEO and a bunch of big shots to have a celebration here this afternoon. Actually, it's really a dinner tonight, but they're going to come by and see some people running around. But that's to celebrate our 5,000th Kenworth truck, which amounts to $500 million, I think. Closer to $600 million worth of truck purchases. So anyway, big day today, and so thank you. I feel bad my lovely wife can't be here, but I certainly appreciate it. Again, I'm grateful for everyone here, now 1,700 people, and started off with just a dream and a little mobile home. The rent on that mobile home was $1,500 a month. And that was my first company car was a 1986 Mercury Sable. And so anyway, lots of things. I know I start to sound like Grandpa, but you remember those things very clearly. And again, I'm so grateful, Randy, Russ, Robert, all my leadership here, and all of you. So thank you. Appreciate you being part of it.